Hi everyone, welcome to Buckle Up Podcast. I'm Natalia Earle and I'm a certified business and life coach that loves talking to people. I'm fascinated by humans and how our brain works. What is it that makes a decision good or bad, and how does that decision ultimately shape our path and destiny? Everyone loves to talk about success, but what about the flip side? How about adversity? Failure is such a big and often necessary part of life, and it's simply unavoidable. So I invite you to join me on this inspiring, honest, unpolished interview show with breathtakingly real conversations that go deep on setbacks and hardships that are part of the puzzle that ultimately lead to growth, discovery of inner greatness, and what makes us resilient. Grab your helmet and buckle up, people. It's going to be a bumpy ride. But what a ride it will be. Today's guest, Chris Menser, is an author of Fitness Fast, who graduated with honors from SASD in 2011 and WVU in 2015. Chris is committed to helping people become the best version of themselves. Unlike what the mainstream fitness industry would like you to believe, getting the body you have always desired doesn't have to be hard. Chris transitioned from being insecure to creating customized workout programs for clients, modeling for masterclasses, and acting in independent films. With his approach, you can achieve your goals all while still eating the foods you want, saving money, and spending less time at the gym, so you have more time to do the things you love. Chris spoke about how fasting can get you the body of your dreams while sustaining a positive and healthy mindset. He reviewed different levels of fasting, biblical reasoning, failure of fad diets, scientifically proven modern nutrition, and controlling your own mental and emotional well-being.
Like I said, when I first started doing it, I didn't like it, and it's because I overcomplicated it. I was like, oh, I have to do exactly 17 hours. And I think I made it a little too hard on myself. What I've learned to start doing is when it's more intermittent fasting, and we can get more into like prolonged fasting later on.
Yes.
But just for like beginners and for what I was doing in the beginning, when I started to really like it, is I would just push my first meal back 4 to 6 hours. So I just essentially started skipping breakfast. And that was maybe one of the healthiest decisions I actually ever made in my life. And that might sound a little over the top or like I'm exaggerating, but if you think about it, I'm really not, because what I was eating for breakfast and what most people eat for breakfast, I mean, what is it?
Carbs.
Yeah, it's carbs and sugar garbage,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like, walk down the cereal aisle, what do you see there?
Yeah, true.
I see
Carbs
like
and sugar.
Jolly Ranchers cereal, Lucky Charms.
Yeah,
Stuff
totally.
is super toxic, and dairy products, which most dairy products are garbage as well. So, I was spiking my insulin levels in the morning, eating trash foods, which absolutely did not help me in the long run throughout the day. And then I started to notice, after my body started to get used to doing intermittent fasting, I was actually more focused and I had more energy before I broke my fast. So, like in the summer times, especially when I was teaching, maybe not as much anymore, but especially in the summer times, I would wake up and go straight to the gym. I'd go to the gym fasted, and those would be my best workouts.
Mhm.
So, really, to answer your question though, what intermittent fasting looks like for me, anywhere between 16 to 18 hours, including the time that I'm asleep. And if,
Okay.
again, for the listeners that are listening to this, if that maybe sounds a little bit too much, like, oh, I don't want to keep track of all that, just push it back. 4 to 8 hours, or 4 to 6 hours after you wake up. That's how I first started doing it, and it took me.
You talk about breaking your fast with clean protein. Define clean protein and why.
Yes. So you want to break a fast with nutritious food, something that
Mhm.
is going to be nutritious to your body. And the reason being is because when you are in that fasted state, the first thing that you eat, your body is going to absorb all of that. And so like if you go to McDonald's right after a fast, like a very long fast, there's not really much in there for your body to absorb nutritionally, you know? So I do like breaking a fast with clean protein. And by clean protein, I mean like chicken breast or steak. If you can eat organic, do that. If you can't, like, it's not going to be the end of the world. But I also do like breaking my fast with raw fruits too.
Mm-hmm.
And that's again due to the nutritional aspect.
You mentioned in the beginning that we tend to overcomplicate things, that, you know, we react weirdly towards diets, but this is not a diet. You're talking about changing your lifestyle. So cover that a little bit with me.
Yeah, and I'm really glad you asked about that. So it is absolutely a lifestyle. I don't think about it as a diet anymore because it's something that I do every single day. So like, for example, if I go out to brunch with my friends, or if I'm at home with my parents and they want to eat breakfast, I can do that. You know what I mean? Because this is a lifestyle. It's something that I'm going to continue to do. It's something I'm going to continue to come back to. It's like, for example, if you miss a workout every once in a while, like, who cares? You missed one workout. That's not going to affect your gains. The same exact principle applies with fasting. You break that every once in a while, it's not a big deal. And like I said, with people overcomplicating it, I genuinely believe the fasting is how our bodies were meant to work. And the reason I can say that so confidently is because think about ancient humans, right? Like our ancestors. They didn't wake up in the morning and have like a bowl of Lucky Charms, did they?
Right.
Of course not. So just using common sense, of course I wasn't there, you know, but just using common sense to think about what they were doing, they would wake up in the morning, go out and hunt for their food. So they're in a fasted state, doing fasted physical activity, potentially very vigorously, you know, whether they're hunting like a dinosaur or woolly mammoths, whatever they were looking for. They're going to hunt that. They're not going to eat until they get that. And then they're going to have to eat it all at once. So they're going to bring it back to their tribe, eat it all, and then go out and do the same thing the next day or the next week. So when you see like a painted picture, and obviously these are just illustrations of ancient humans, what do they look like?
But what are the main health benefits to fasting?
I mean, the number one main one is the one that everybody's going to do it for, and that's for losing body fat. That's the number one main cause and effect, I should say, for fasting. Also, like I said, fasting promotes muscle retention. And the reason why fasting promotes muscle retention is because when you're fasting, your body doesn't know when it's going to get its next meal. When your body doesn't know when it's going to get its next meal, your body thinks any kind of physical activity you do, you're doing to get food, right? So naturally, your body's going to be like, okay, we need to give him, we need to speed up his like muscle fiber recruitment, or whatever it's called when you break down muscle fibers and then grow new ones.